How to find the willingness to take action and change your identity perception. The willingness to take action, to change one's life, pursue a goal, or move toward a desired outcome, is not a matter of willpower alone. It is the result of several interrelated factors that are continuously assessed by the nervous system, the ego mind, and our sense of safety. In trauma-informed work such as reset, resistance to change is not seen as laziness or lack of motivation, but as a protective calculation rooted in identity, safety, and perceived cost. The following 5 factors determine whether real action and sustainable identity change can occur. 1. Perceived outcome, return on investment. Every action is preceded by an unconscious question: what will this give me if I act? The ego mind is primarily oriented toward short-term relief, immediate gratification, the rapid reduction of uncomfortable feelings. This evaluation happens largely unconsciously. If the expected outcome does not feel valuable enough, no action will follow, or action will occur, but the result will be unconsciously sabotaged. Once awareness increases, people can begin to include long-term outcomes in their decision-making. However, if the deeper emotional conviction is missing, if the benefit is understood intellectually but not felt, change will not stabilize at the identity level. Key principle: if the perceived outcome does not outweigh the emotional cost of change, the system will resist. 2. Required energy and effort. The nervous system also evaluates how much energy, time, effort, or strain will this require? The greater the perceived effort, the higher the required payoff must be, the stronger the internal justification needs to feel. When trauma is present, available energy is often already consumed by survival strategies. In that state, even small changes can feel overwhelmingly costly. Key principle: the more energy a goal requires, the more meaningful and emotionally convincing the outcome must be to initiate movement. 3. Skills and competence. Another internal assessment follows: am I capable of achieving this? This includes current skills and abilities, confidence in learning new skills, belief in one's capacity to grow. A low sense of competence or self-efficacy significantly reduces willingness to act. Conversely, when the perceived reward is high enough, people become more willing to learn, practice, fail temporarily. Key principle: the greater the perceived outcome, the greater the willingness to acquire new skills, if safety allows learning. 4. Circumstances and comfort. Action is also filtered through practical and emotional circumstances. Do my current conditions allow this? This includes time, money, health, support, structure, existing comfort and stability. Fear of losing current safety or familiarity. Trauma strongly affects this layer. The greater the fear of unsafety, the lower the willingness to disrupt the status quo, even if that status quo is unsatisfying. At this level, the question becomes: what comfort am I currently protecting, and what comfort am I willing to give up? Key principle: the higher the perceived benefit, the greater the willingness to sacrifice comfort, but only if safety is not threatened. 5. Obstacles, internal and external. Finally, the system evaluates what stands in the way. Here we distinguish between circumstances, the current is situation. Obstacles, what blocks the desired should/could situation? Obstacles are not only practical. They are often psychological and identity-based, such as low self-worth or self-trust, fear of failure or success, limiting beliefs, internalized shame or guilt, lack of perceived willpower. In trauma work, obstacles frequently relate to felt safety or unsafety, not logic. The system may block action not because change is impossible, but because it feels dangerous to the existing identity. Key principle: change fails not because obstacles exist, but because they are interpreted as threats to safety rather than challenges to be navigated. Core insight for reset and identity change. Lasting change only happens when the outcome feels emotionally worth it. The energy cost feels manageable. Skills feel attainable. Safety is preserved or increased. Obstacles are addressed at the identity level, not just cognitively. When these conditions are met, action stops being forced and starts becoming self-aligned. At that point, identity naturally reorganizes around the new behavior instead of resisting it. In reset terms, action follows safety. Identity follows action. Safety, identity, and action all follow your reset.